Here's an updated video on my K30. Been a while since I have put up a video of this truck. See, she's pretty well disassembled. I just got done switching out the wiring harness on it. No dash pad on it right now. I got that sitting elsewhere. But put a different fuse panel on it. Underneath the dash wiring is all different now. It's actually out of my old K10. So it's going to be kind of interesting because I was looking up pictures. This should be down here. And for the wiper controls, which are no longer on the column, will be right here. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. Guess that's better than nothing. And this truck had it when I bought it. The floor switch down there, so I just got to replace it because that one don't work, and that's the wiring for the floor switch. This harness is in a lot better shape than the other one. Also, it's the same harness under the hood, since the under the hood harness of this truck has been pretty well molested, being that this truck used to be a diesel. That's what this one here is, all for the motor. That's out of the K10. The light harness is out of the K10. So there's GM's new fuel efficient small block 350. Uses no fuel, I swear to God. Other than that, actually this motor's in pretty good shape. She looks like there's some scratches in it, but there's none. You don't feel any of that. Mostly just oil. This one particularly, I don't know if you can see it, that second cam bearing in there, the top of it's toast. This is the motor that came out of this truck, which is a 350 bored over to a 355. I had oil pressure issues with the truck, stuff like that. Ended up one day, got sick of it, pulled the motor out, pulled the cam out, and realized the cam was junk. I believe it was the intake lobe for cylinder 4, I believe, was gone. Smoothed the red off. It made a nice little cup in the hydraulic lifter. Destroyed it all. So that's pretty much the story on this motor. And then after pulling it apart, realizing you could use a set of mains and rods, bearings. So I kind of got it sitting here right now just to hold the transmission up. It's like you pull out those 2 bolts, and then I just got 2 bell housing bolts in, and the motor could probably come out by hand. This is the front clip that's going on the truck. I had it already bolted on. It's just off right now when I'm swapping motors. The bed for this truck is actually sitting on my diesel. I'm debating on this truck if I'm going to go with a wrecker bed on the back and then convert the truck to a manual, or if I'm going to do something else or sell it, or I don't know. It's a different gauges. This is the one that came out of the truck. That one, I don't know what that one's out of. No clue. And I don't know what happened to the one for White Power. Actually, I don't even know if White Power had one. Now that I'm thinking about it. There's one of the battery trays for the truck, since this truck had 2 of them. But I mean, get some more look at the body. I mean, it's solid for 80 style Wisconsin truck, though a lot of the stuff has been replaced. This just recently happened because I realized when they put the fenders on, they never put the bolts in the top on both sides. Then since I don't have a core support in right now, this bracket came out. I opened the door, didn't realize it, go to shut it, and it caught and wrecked my door. Yeah, not too happy about that. That sucks. I mean, other than that, this truck's a pretty solid truck. Kind of get a good look at the cab corners back here. I'm starting A lot of that's just surface. So I'm gonna go over it with some Herculiner or something, or take it to we got a Line X in town that does spray and bed liners. So so the LT1 swap isn't happening to this truck now, which is kind of sad. Part of me really wanted to do it, but and I even made that little notch in the frame for the LT1 for that one AC bypass pulley. But oh well, gonna get another stock. It's either gonna get a stock 350 I'm getting my hands on, or that one's actually gonna get new bearings put in it and reassembled with this setup here. Hopefully, if all goes well, that'd be pretty nice, since that setup should have been on a truck to begin with. Nice low torque 2-in-part fuel injected setup. All the parts for it's inside the fin underneath. This is the LT1. Just recently pulled this one apart. It's got a good oil pump drive gear, unlike that one. And this one too. Bad cam bearing right here. Got a nice little ridge on her. That's no good. Cam thrust plate right there. That motor's been missing since I've owned it, which is probably the reason why I keep wiping out cams on this motor. And this one too needs cam bearings. So that one needs a complete overhaul. That's a Buick 350 sitting underneath the LT1 intake. Right there's my 455 for my Buick Riviera. That needs cam and main bearings. I didn't need them, but when I pulled it apart, they have some wear, so I'm going to definitely get them replaced. The only one that's in this garage that doesn't need anything is the one sitting behind that radiator. 5.3. There's the old harness out of this truck. I kind of start seeing some of the splices on that harness. Oh, it was a complete disaster. This truck had an issue with the wiring where if you would shake the fuse panel, the taillights would finally work. Which is, well, not just taillights, but the running lights, which is kind of not a good thing. It's like totally screws electrical fire. So, found out there's a bunch of splices actually inside the fuse panel that they spliced a bunch of wires together and put like 2 on one side and try to branch a bunch of, oh my god, it's awful. It's like, whoa, I wonder why I've been having electrical issues with this truck.